Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about this really cool English knife right here. Pretty old knife, and I don't think it's a wartime era knife, but it's really unusual because it's one of those English Army knives, um, but it's really unusual. So if you'd like to hear why it's unusual and check out a little bit more about this really cool piece of history, go ahead and check out the video. Okay, welcome, fellow knife aficionados and collectors, and man, guys who just like to steal, right? So we're going to be talking about this knife today. I want to say welcome and hi to all my viewers. Bonjour, privet, guten tag, hola, and ciao to my foreign viewers. What you have here is a knife that is English, and it's one of these English Army type knives. You can see this knife is 4¼ inches long, so it's pretty big knife, pretty bulky, not too heavy though. And it's the pins and liners are made out of carbon steel. It's all carbon steel. The blades are, dividers, everything. This is a checkered horn on here. Pretty cool. They used a lot of that early in wartime. You know, they just couldn't keep up the demand for the horn, and so they went to a kind of plastic-like material. I think that called it Biloxi. I think that's what they called it. But this is horn, and this is really unusual type of army knife. So let me show it to you. Really big blade on that. Look at that nice spear point blade. You can see here it has the ERA mark of James Barber, and you can't see it. It is marked Sheffield. You can barely see it right there. It is marked Sheffield, but not England. At least I can't see that it's marked England. And then you have a can opener here, which is really hard to open. Let me see if I can get this bad bear open for you. Hold on just a minute. Okay, that is just ridiculous. But yeah, it's got that old style huge tin opener that the English liked on their knives. These things are just brutes, guys. And the thing about these army knives as a group, there's a lot of different kinds, but they're really good camp knives. So if you can get a hold of these for a reasonable price, I bought this for $12 at a knife show. And if you can get them for a reasonable price, you know, they make a really good camp knife. These are great can openers. They're very sturdy. The knives are very sturdy, and just pretty cool. So, okay, so what's unusual about that knife is most of the British Clasp knife that you see are going to look kind of like this. Sometimes they've got 3 blades, sometimes 2 blades, sometimes they have a marlin spike, sometimes they don't. There's a bunch of different variations of models, handle materials, and they made them over, 40-year time period. But this is an unusual one. As you can see, it doesn't look like that at all. And this knife, the maker mark on it, ERA James Baker. So in 1919, Joseph Ellen acquired the trademark of James Baker. So that's a very old trademark. It goes back to around 1800, 1802, something like that. And he the family finally went out of business, and Joseph Ellen acquired the trademark. So it's really hard to pin the date on this, but a collector from England told me that these type style knives were interwar knives, and so around after World War I, to the start of World War II was the date that these knives were manufactured. And so this could be a Jane Barber knife, or it could be a Joseph Ellen knife that used the trademark. And then in, I think it was 1938 that Wolstinghome acquired the trademark from Ellen. He bought the Ellen trademarks. So, kind of hard to put a real date on this knife, a firm date, but you can say it's between 1919 and 1938. One of the things you notice is that wartime knives, if you look on this knife, usually wartime knives were marked with the date and also a WD with an arrow, and this doesn't have either. Now, it could have been worn off, but it probably was never on there because they were pretty deep stamped and kind of hard to wear off. So that's my guess that this is a pre-war knife. Some of these you'll see will have a WD mark and an arrow, and those are wartime knives. But they're probably made older, right? So they just used them in the war, and they would have put the war stamp on them. And so just really interesting because it's a little different than your normal, right? And I just have a knack for picking things up like that. So thought you'd find that interesting. I don't think I have anything else to say about this. And I hope you guys found it informative. I really appreciate your support on the channel. And thank you so much.